With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and as we get closer, and I mean closer, to the release of Avengers Infinity War, we're going to be getting a lot of information. And this particular tidbit is fantastic because it already kind of confirms what we've already known. And it really is going to, I think, be the opportunity for Marvel to finally kind of tie up some of those pesky loose ends and plot holes that they've had, and maybe not all of them, but a little bit throughout the course of the last 10 years. You know, seeing as that this particular film is going to be their 19th in 10 years. I mean, you know, not everything's going to be the most. They make the best use of the continuity, but they've done very well. Anyway, so it says here that Avengers Infinity War will have connections to every Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Everyone? Really? Even the Incredible Hulk? Are you guys going to go back to that? Or Thor the Dark World? Well, it's going to clearly tie into Thor the Dark World because of the Aether. Anyway, Avengers Infinity War is a hugely ambitious movie, as one would expect a crossover between no less than 10 ongoing film franchises would be. The 19th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to pay homage to the first 18 movies, according to the movie's co-directors and the mastermind behind the MCU itself. You have to love that too. The 19th film is going to pay tribute to the 18 films before it. Right? Like, just, to me, that's hysterical. The 18 movies before it. I mean, this is meant to be, like, we're hearing reports this is going to be a 2.5-hour long movie. So I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it's going to be pretty long. Included in the Thor Ragnarok Blu-ray is a short featurette commemorating 10 years of the highly successful Marvel Studios. On that featurette, Avengers Infinity War is discussed, but which is only fitting given that the movie arrives on the 10th anniversary of the release of Iron Man. One of the two directors of the third Avengers movie explains that the multiple narratives that have built up over the course of several movies will converge in the 2019 sequel. This, again, one of the reasons why the rumored production budget of Avengers 3 and 4 is $1 billion. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. probably took about half of that himself, but still, there's a lot that they've kind of built up and they've kind of set the groundwork for that are going to be tied up in these movies, which just makes me more excited to go back and watch all the movies again, which I plan on before going in to see this one. Now, it goes on to say here that every story that Marvel has told since Iron Man 1 finds a narrative thread in the next two Avengers movie. It's a culmination of all that storytelling. But the question is, though, what threads, right? I mean, there's a couple things here and there that kind of, you might get brought up, but ultimately, what are they? Like, we won't know until we see it. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, who has produced or co-produced every Marvel Studios film to date, elaborated on this comment, suggesting that minor storylines that have yet to receive full resolution will in fact get closure. Ooh, that'd be pretty good. With Infinity War, we are paying off every little thread, every little tease that we've had in what will be 18 films prior to Infinity War. There's never been anything like this, being able to film after film tease at a larger story, really building these stories up into a conclusion while at the same time introducing an entirely new direction for the future. Okay, well, let's take a quick look at that for a second. There are things that Marvel has teased over the course of the MCU, the most annoying of which, and I believe I'm being absolutely abundantly fair when I say this, is Thanos. Thanos is meant to be the big bad, introduced 6 years ago through an end credit stinger for Avengers. That is who Joss Whedon set up as the big bad. It wasn't until 2 years later that we got to see him, not even in full glory, but just got to see him sitting on his throne and also coming at it, through a projector similar to, or hologram, kind of like Emperor Palpatine, and as seeing that. And that wasn't even like a super crazy bit of Thanos, but that was ultimately it. That was ultimately the idea there. It was just, this is meant to be the big bad. And yet they continuously dropped the ball for setting up the larger story. And this is where maybe this was part of the design. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that it's part of the design. I think that when they sat down to write this movie and to write these two films, like, all right, so look, we're bookending the first 10 years. We need to actually make some of these things pay off. If they don't pay off, we're going to probably run into a little bit of a problem. Fans are going to be upset because they spent all this time building up to ultimately nothing. It's a gigantic 10-year cock tease. Nobody wants that. Not even Sting, who's super into tantric sex. But the point is that there's a lot of stuff here that they could work on. And honestly, I'm trying to rack my brain to think of what a lot of those threads would be. I need to go back again and rewatch a lot of them, because if it's every film, there's always going to be something. But the biggest one to me, it's always been Thanos. You know, it's always been Thanos, and the lack of really building him up as this big bad coming over the horizon that we're meant to ultimately care. And that is, I think, a huge failure on the part of Kevin Feige. Probably, I would argue, his only real failure as the head of Marvel Studios is allowing Whedon to set up Thanos as the big bad guy. The Infinity Gauntlet situation as the whole, you know, what's leading into the book ending, and then never giving us anything really. I mean, you know, which one movie, I forget now which movie it was at the end where Thanos guts the gauntlet, right? Says, oh, you got to do these things yourself. So you've got that, which is cool. But then also you've got, you know, Hela in Thor Ragnarok saying, oh yeah, this Infinity Gauntlet that we have in the Asgard vault is fake. A lot of the stuff here is fake. You know, and that was one of those things that really bothered me, because you could tell that it was kind of a get out of jail free card that they were trying to pull. I don't feel like the audience really gave them enough crap for it. Now, it goes on to say that the emphasis of the new direction is incredibly important, as the MCU will look significantly different after these two Avengers movies than it did before. And that's before the Fantastic Four and X-Men franchises are integrated into the setting. Presuming that Disney purchase of Fox goes through, for better or for worse, these two movies will change the MCU forever. And we do know that over the course of the next couple years, they are going to start changing the direction. They want to go further out into the cosmos and play around with that. As I talked about before, like the multiverse theory, but my theory on that clearly was dealing with the Fox Disney buyover and how they're going, or buyout, and how they're going to merge those characters together. But at this point, it really does make you wonder if Disney's going to get their hands on it, as Comcast is now looking to possibly enter into the fray on that one. But then again, who has deeper pockets? That is a fight I'd like to see. That is a fight I'd like to see. But anyway, I think that getting these plot holes and these threads tied up will be good. I think it will be good to kind of get that satisfaction, right? That's one of my biggest problems with some of these franchises. Not so much Marvel, but just general movie franchises, is they don't always end up giving you the closure that you want for the sake of time. And that is one of the problems that can, if they can fix that here, then they'll do something that a lot of film franchises have never been able to do. And that will be good. And it's truly going to establish a model going forward. Like I said before, I think Star Wars is going to look at how the Marvel Cinematic Studios did the first 10 years, and they're going to model a lot of it after that. In fact, we're going to see a lot of other companies, franchises do kind of the same thing. They're going to look at how Marvel did it and how it was a success, and look at how DC did it and how it kind of wasn't. And that's going to be a thing. But I do want to know your guys' thoughts about this one, so be sure to let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and, you know, I look forward to reading what you guys have to say. Also, I'm going to be giving away a copy of Justice League on Blu-ray when the movie comes out here pretty soon. And so if you guys want to get in on that action, just be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment below, and I will let you guys know when the film comes out who wins. But hey, look, in the meantime, if you just want to see more content from me, you can do so right now.